Hey everybody, it's Eric from EPautos.com, your Libertarian car guy. I want to talk to you today about one of the most outrageous and obnoxious things that's going on in the country, and that is asset forfeiture, civil asset forfeiture. It's in the news again because a guy who was traveling or trying to travel to Albania to buy some property foolishly took some cash with him, and turned out it was his life savings. It was about $58,000 in cash, legitimately his money, that he simply wanted to have on hand to make a purchase when he got to Albania. He was looking to buy a retirement house, apparently, but that's neither here nor there. What's relevant is the government simply seized this man's property. They did not charge him with any crime. They did certainly not convict him of any crime, and that's the nut of the problem with this asset forfeiture stuff. You get pulled over, you get stopped, you get searched for whatever reason, or no reason at all, and in the course of that, they discover that you're carrying cash on you, and somehow carrying cash has now become itself effectively a criminal act, simply to have cash. No particular amount. There's nothing in the law that says, well, if you have more than just say $5,000 on you in cash, that's presumed to be illicit or illegal or the result of illegal activities. Just cash. They sometimes will say excessive, but excessive to whom? There's no definition in law. More to the point, cash is legal. It's the legal currency of the country. And whether it's 50 cents, $50,000, or $1 million in a suitcase, if it's your property, it's your cash, it's legitimate, unless the government can prove that it isn't, or at least that used to be the way the law worked. It used to be that the government had to, first of all, charge you with some kind of crime, and then before they could take your money or punish you in some other way, they had to convict you of a crime. Now they're simply taking people's money as presumptively the fruit of drug money or laundering or some other thing, but they don't have to prove it. They just take your money. It's the most startling, halting, bald-faced thing that I can think of, and it's going on, and the Attorney General of the United States and the President support this. It's truly mind-boggling. And what's even more upsetting to me is that people don't seem to be upset by it. In fact, a lot of people think, well, he must have had it coming to him. And I can't imagine how they would feel if, let's say, they were taking their business's cash receipts to the bank or home, or let's say, as I've done several times, going to look at a used car, private party used car, and went to the bank and got some cash, because it's a strong way to negotiate when you're buying a car, used car, to have the cash in your pocket to make a cash offer to the seller. I've done that a bunch of times. So I get pulled over for not wearing my seatbelt or some other idiocy like that, and the cop notices that I've got an envelope, and in the envelope is a few $1,000s in cash, and the asshole can just take my money, and then I have to prove to the government's satisfaction that that money is rightfully mine. It's completely batty. It's the upending of some of the most basic moral ideas, and not just moral ideas, but due process ideas, functional basic things that used to be the things that separated this country from some of the worst places on earth, where the government can exercise absolutely arbitrary authority over people, can simply do what it wants to people, regardless of the law. And that's where we are now in the United States. The government can literally just do what it wants to you because it has the power to do it. Not because there's a law, not because you've been convicted of breaking a law, but just because the government has the badge and the gun and you're powerless to do anything about it. It's absolutely horrific. Something's got to be done about this. And if something's not done about it, it's going to get worse. And that's what worries me even more. There's something wrong with the American character. Americans, all too many people, supinely bend over and accept whatever the government does. I've been ranting about this for years. Everything from these probable cause free checkpoints where you're treated as a presumptive drunk even though you've given no reason at all to suspect you of anything. You have to prove to their satisfaction that you're not drunk, and meanwhile they're going to look over your papers, they're going to look over your car and find some other thing to give you a ticket for. Or this business about having to let some random stranger in a government costume stick his hands in your pants, feel your dick, or feel, if you're a woman, your vagina or your breasts, ostensibly because you might be a terrorist, an enemy of freedom. And people put up with this. It boggles my mind. If they put up with this kind of thing, what else will they put up with? What won't they put up with? I don't know. That's the question of the day. Anyway, I'm going to be on the radio tomorrow at 3:30 East Coast time, talking about this stuff with Bryan Hyde, who is a radio guy out in Nevada, I think it is. Anyway, that should hopefully be interesting and entertaining, but I just wanted to get something up about this on my own before I do that. So thanks for listening, and would appreciate your feedback and comments about this, and we'll catch up with you again soon.